Uninformed Movie Reviews, the movie review podcast where we review movies. New room, same crew. Please excuse any weirdness with the video and audio. If you don't like it, shut up. It'll be fixed soon. But let us know what's wrong, and we'll try to fix it from there.
Graceful as always.
Yeah, killing it. I have with me, as always, David, Danny.
Hello.
Myself.
Frank the Brotherless.
Yes. I murdered him. Or
Okay,
at least it's in the works. Today, we've got a special one-off for you. We love doing the one-offs. Whenever there's a movie we're super excited about. If you haven't been given away from the title of the episode that you clicked on, we're discussing The Northman. Yeah. Yes.
Bound to the down.
Yeah. A special new release from Robert Eggers. I was very eager to view it since the announcement.
Eggers.
Yeah, well, that one worked with my eager pun. What is it?
Eggers can't be choosers. Can they?
Hey! Wow. And now we've come around full circle. How fantastic. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day, y'all. So, yeah, I figured we'd just start off. First impressions. David, what'd you think?
I thought this was an okay movie. I left the theater thinking, does a movie have to say something profound to be worthwhile? You know what I mean? Like, does every movie have to be a special individual experience? I've been having theoretical conversation about it because it's a visually very nice movie.
Does substance matter?
Looks good.
When you have style.
But I mean, it's essentially like The Lion King.
Dude, okay.
Like with a slightly different role, you know what I mean?
But
it's not the son. Well, it is the son.
We'll get into
it.
it.
I mean, it's the uncle.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is because also the main character's name is Hamlet with an H at the end.
Yeah.
Literally.
So
it's Hamlet.
It's still enjoyable, visually pleasing. Score's pretty tight.
Yes.
Oh, the audio mix.
I just wasn't
That
crazy
volcano fight.
about the characters necessarily. Any of them are particularly interesting. Or, thought-provoking. But I mean, I don't know. I felt, I was like, I don't know how I really feel about this. I enjoyed myself. I didn't hate it. I don't think it's bad. I don't know who I would recommend this movie to. I feel like some people might really hate this movie.
Arians?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would recommend this movie to
might be a little too slow for them.
Robert Eggers fans.
I'm sure.
I think they'd like it.
Yeah, but I was thinking, and this is someone who fell asleep in the first 20 minutes of Lighthouse. But
did you not like The Lighthouse?
It's not that I didn't like it. It's just we watched it too late at night.
Oh yeah. That's,
you know what I mean. It was a bad idea. But The Witch, I mean, I felt like I was like, wow, this is something very fresh. This is something I feel, oh, this is a new experience. What interesting paths we're taking on the story. The Northman, I was like, okay, yeah. This is what a Viking does.
If there's something I could give a lot of credence to, it's that Robert Eggers sticks to his convictions on like making something linguistically accurate to the time.
Yeah, that is nice.
You know what I mean? And it's something that's showcased in every release thus far. So you got it in The Witch, where people were complaining like, I can't understand what they're saying. I also cannot understand what they're saying in this movie. Not bad, not hard, a little hard to follow. But that's how The Witch was also in the first watch. Same deal goes for The Lighthouse, though, because they talk like the talking pictures in Lighthouse. Actually, they really don't. They talk like
the talkies.
Late 1900s seamen.
Yeah, I mean, The Lighthouse is pretty... I didn't feel like I had too hard of a time following the accents or anything, but I could see where people get confused. I don't know if this is an appropriate time to bring this up, because we haven't even gotten to Frank's... Yeah, actually, Frank, what are your first impressions?
Let's get there.
Because I do have something to say, but I feel like it's going to take some time.
Really enjoyed it. I'd have to disagree with Danny's comment of like the dialogue was hard to follow. I didn't feel that at all. I felt like I knew what was going on the whole time. I also felt like it was a little bit thought-provoking and like the one aspect where it is very much like The Lion King, but at the end, Simba finds out that his dad's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Which is like a big thing, just like realizing
it's almost like
that
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, like realizing that your parents are like flawed, like your parents are human, and you may not know the whole story. Yeah. But I did like that he doubled down. He's like, "Well, I made an oath. I made an oath. I was super high on mushrooms when it happened, so got to follow through."
It's funny because it's kind of just like the Batman too. You know what I mean? We have the same reveal in the Batman about
Oh, my parents.
I've based my life upon this idealization of my parents.
Big
and-
thing in movies right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
All the millennials are growing up and making films.
Yeah.
That was a
That's
big
funny.
saving grace for me too, because the entire, like, I'd say for 60% of the movie, I was just like, are we really just gonna do like the Fallen Prince story?
Yeah.
Like, is that what this is just gonna be? You know, with Fallen Prince's journey back to grace,
Yeah.
and then he finds out from his mother all that stuff, and I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
he never really got
All
back
right.
to grace. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess spoilers, spoilers, but are we supposed to not know that Nicole Kidman's behind this the whole time? Because they treated it like a big reveal, but
Yeah.
in the movie, when she's like, "And a cup for you, brother," I was like, "Well, she's banging this guy."
You
Well,
know, I
something's off.
think you picked up on that subtlety more than I did.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I don't feel like it was very subtle at all. It was like, oh,
She was like almost
they're-
winking
they're
at him. She was
banging.
like,
yeah.
Even Willem Dafoe or Hymir the Fool definitely picked it up, but
Rafiki?
Well, Rafiki's more of like a witch doctor. Well, I guess Willem Dafoe was like the witch
Yeah.
doctor too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love
basically
Willem
the witch
Dafoe.
doctor.
yeah. I mean, he was great.
He's my favorite.
I feel like all the performances really solid.
Yeah.
I feel like Anya Taylor-Joy was just
She's a little lackluster, huh?
Doesn't pass the Bechdel test for sure.
Yeah,
And then she's also just, hey, now I'm an Earth wizard.
Yeah, that was weird.
my Earth magic.
Yeah,
She's
and
like
then
a
I was
Russian.
so why were you in slavery to begin with? I guess she wasn't in a role where she could be feeding people. It seemed like the food part was a big part of it.
Yeah. She seems more like a herbalist than she does
Herbalist, yeah.
more of like a mage.
Interesting.
know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I did like the magic aspect. I thought that was pretty
I
interesting.
like that there was, you really couldn't tell what's actually real or what's mythical.
Well, before I lampoon it all, but it's so we went to go see this at Flick's Brewhouse, and
Give it some context.
this is the antithesis of a recommendation. This is like a stay away at all costs, because Flick's Brewhouse, this chain, showed this movie in the wrong aspect ratio.
What?
Mm-hmm.
These heads
Whoa.
couldn't operate the projector to correctly frame the movie on the screen.
That's crazy.
So this movie is not in true widescreen, but they had the sides stretched all the way out on
Yeah.
the screen so that the top part of the frame was on the ceiling and the bottom part of the frame was below the projector screen.
What would you
What?
say, David? Would you say a good 8 inches, maybe
Dude,
12 inches was caught off of the screen?
it was like 20% of the shot.
Yeah.
So
Like
there-
the subtitles would be bent at the bottom.
Yeah,
and
some of the
stuff like that.
subtitles, you'd see the first line and then it'd get partly cut off, and then the second line would be like on black wall.
That's crazy.
Dude, I was so upset that I honestly couldn't get over it. And I just need everyone to know who's listening to this review.
Did you raise an order card?
I didn't, because I was like, I can't even. Like, I'm gonna be too rude if I tell somebody this.
punch the server.
Not even punch it, but I'm just gonna be like, hey, who doesn't know what they're doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be rude. I'm just trying to enjoy my cheese curds. But the point is like, I feel like I didn't love the movie, and now part of me will never know if
If it was the experience.
because I noticed it 10 minutes in, and I could not stop thinking about it. For the entire movie, I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was insane.
I saw it in the correct aspect ratio.
I
Did
was
you go see
wondering-
it at Alamo?
No, I went to go see it at Cinemark.
Okay. and then
damn.
afterwards, I was like, I went to Flicks because I didn't want to have a terrible experience at Cinemark, and how the turntables.
Yeah, turntables.
Jeez, man.
In fact, I'd like to double down on your experience because this is the second time that Flix has showcased a very lackluster menu that just tastes like rubber garbage.
The food wasn't as big a problem for me, but I don't think I'm ever gonna go back to Flicks.
It's a problem for me. It was
What do
good-
you order at Flicks?
Okay, last time I got a margarita pizza, which is pretty hard to mess up.
Their pizzas are kind of meh.
Dude, it was really bad. And in fact, they brought me the wrong pizza at first. And I was just like, that's weird. This almost tastes like it's got barbecue on it. Oh, it's a barbecue pizza.
Yeah, it makes
Oh,
sense.
that wasn't that good. And then they brought out the margarita pizza. And I was like, this is worse. And it was just
Wow.
like too many dollops of mozzarella cheese, one piece of spinach, and maybe a tomato on it.
Sounds like a margarita to me.
It was awful. The second time, we didn't trust him enough, so we ate a little before, and then we had some chips and queso there. I was thinking, how can you mix up Hatch green chili queso?
Oh, it's pretty easy.
But Alamo, next level. Alamo's hatch green chili queso is
we should have just never betrayed Alamo.
Well,
That's what
Alamo
happened.
betrayed us
Well, yeah, they didn't show the Northmen.
on our side of town.
Yeah, at the exact time that we needed to do this.
We got to
cram
find
out
the
this review.
podcast episode, like the first time we went to Flicks, and you guys are like, I might actually like Flicks better than Alamo. We need to go back and
You know
play
What?
that.
To be fair, I feel like I was a little more hesitant about it. I was like, Michelle likes Flicks.
I'm just gonna say I used to like Flicks for the seats, but now I don't. It's not even a saving grace for me.
Yeah.
So, yes, the experience also dumbed down the experience.
Remember the Alamo.
Excellent point, David.
Yeah.
Excellent point.
Now about the movie.
Now, more about the movie. More about the movie. I will say this. I thought it was very interesting, and maybe I interpreted the trailer wrong, but the trailer really isn't how the movie goes. From the trailer, it seemed like young boys on an island, and then like invading forces come and kill his father. He escapes, and then I assumed that scene of like them throwing, the spear, and he catches it and throws it back. I assumed that was going to be like the next hour of the movie. Like the whole second arc, or like the second arc is maybe him training and, getting buff and fighting and all this stuff. And then, the third arc is we are attacking what was once my home and taking it back. But man, the movie is not that. Like,
yeah, and you gotta love it when the trailer doesn't give every single beat away.
yeah,
I do like that.
it's very exciting. Although, so I mean, I guess they kind of justify it, but bold choice to make your protagonist a child murderer.
Yeah, after he is, well, what did it say? Evil begets evil.
Yes.
That's kind of what the message is also.
So then why should we root for him though? You know what I mean?
Well,
If that's what we're
I think it's a
agreeing with.
problematic protagonist for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, like
I was kind of thinking it was more of like he had to do it in order to live. Like in order to live, he
Yeah.
had to become one of these wolves.
I mean, that's pretty much what it was.
He's
know
like
what
a
I mean?
missionary,
He got taken in
right?
by these guys.
Yeah.
They go in and pillage, and they burn the children in a hut. That's what they do.
that's
then
what Vikings did.
The equivalent of the Lion King would be like the genocide of the squishy bugs that Timon and Pumbaa are eating. Like the other pillagers are Timon and Pumbaa.
Those bugs looked way more delicious than those kids did, though.
Yeah, man. Well,
Depends
Those
who's looking at
ooey,
it, I guess.
gooey bugs.
those bugs are raw, at least.
Yeah.
They were cooked. Oh.
Yeah, pretty messed up. I was like, hey, this
I
is
love
like
that.
The Patriot, but even more messed up.
Yeah.
Like it's just kids that they're burning.
Yeah.
But
boys. No, it was just boys.
But I think it was also an interesting take because it was like they're making sure they don't make the mistake that Fjolnir or Fjolnir.
Yeah, that's a rookie
brother made.
mistake, man. You make sure that the kid of the king you just killed is also dead. You make damn sure. Because if not, he's coming back to hunt you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic Viking credo. You kill them all, you pillage, you take the slaves, and then you kill the boys so that they can't become warriors.
That's what they did.
And then assimilate
baby.
culture. They were calling them savages too.
Yeah.
The entire
Yeah,
time.
that's right. I love the I guess the brief discussion of Christian imagery.
Oh.
They're like, their God is a corpse who's
Nailed
nailed
to
to
a
a tree.
Yeah, I really did.
I was like, whoa.
Really enjoyed that.
Man, that makes Christians seem way more metal than they actually are.
Yeah, it does seem way
If
more
Norse
hardcore.
people were just like,
Oh, those guys are kind of scary, aren't they? Those guys believe some crazy stuff.
Those savage Christians and their
Yeah.
savage ways.
that was cool though. So they went to Russia, or he fled to Russia, I'm guessing, for a while, where he does Viking things and meets. Let me get her name, Anya Taylor-Joy, who
Is
plays
it Russia?
the land of the Rus.
Oh wow. Okay, I must
Yeah.
have missed that. That's pretty far.
That is pretty far. Well,
From the
Well, he
Atlantic?
kind of just went out on that boat and said, Jesus, take the wheel. Viking Jesus,
I
take
was
the
trying
wheel.
to.
Did they go up over?
Well, I was trying to figure out where he would be from, and like North Atlantic, it didn't sound like he's from Iceland because when they told him that Fjolnir's on Iceland, it sounded more like a backwoods, like castaway kind of deal. I was thinking he's probably either from Denmark or from Sweden.
Oh, interesting.
And then Sweden is pretty close to Russia.
Or Norway.
Or Norway. No, because the Norse king,
No way.
Oh yeah, because
The Norse king is the one that takes
over
it
them.
back.
They live on some island, assumedly in that area, I guess. Yeah.
so it could be part of Norway that just
Yeah.
wasn't assimilated yet.
where they live today, there could be an IKEA there. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Oh, easily.
Oh,
Yeah.
the whole time there was all this brutality and like Viking brutality. I was just like, this is crazy because they're such pleasant people now.
Well, they got it all out of their system early on,
Yeah.
man.
Years after that.
They weren't trying to pretend they were civil, you know? They just went for it. Howling at the moon and growling and crawling all
I mean,
fours.
this is definitely, it's got like a testosterone bump through the whole
Yeah.
movie. You know what I mean?
It's like you haven't seen this many shirtless, hairy men since like 300.
300.
You know
Oh,
what?
they're
I
not very
actually
hairy
felt
in
I had a
300.
very similar emotion running through my body throughout this whole movie that I did at the Knock Loose show that we just went to.
That's true.
I was just like, yes,
It was very
let's
testosterone
go.
driven.
I wanted to howl.
You know, I gotta say, after the first act, I just I didn't feel the adrenaline, man. There's a lot of this movie where they either choose to go super fast past the details or incredibly slow. Like, so for instance, he goes to talk to not Willem Dafoe. Not Green Goblin, but
shaman
the other
guy.
shaman.
The shaman that
gosh.
now has Willem Dafoe's head.
Yeah, he finds out that like Fjolnir is living like on the set of Lamb is what it looks like.
Yeah.
so then he goes there, and
Which was in Iceland.
No,
Yeah.
the set of land was more pretty than the land that he
it
ended
was.
up on. Yeah,
It was. Yeah, Fjolnir basically, you know, after betraying his brother and our main character's father, he has to run away from the king, like we were saying.
Yeah.
And when he gets there, it's kind of this pathetic little community, which is fun because it's like, you know, revenge doesn't pay.
It's like a chieftain serfdom.
or not revenge, but betrayal doesn't pay. Yeah, it's some sort of serfdom going on here for sure. Anyways, he meets another wizardy guy with Willem Dafoe's head, which is a great scene.
That was cool though, like following the fox and all that.
Yeah.
and that was
Oh
good.
yeah.
And then he's like, "Hey, there's a sword that you can get that
Oh, yeah.
that is quenched only by the blood of your enemies, and you can only use it at night. And it's a super cool sword. You should try and find this sword." And then like, oh, we're at the sword. It was a really weird
Yeah,
kind of jump. He was
he-
like, "Oh, I'm here now."
Yeah, I don't know if he told him like what tomb to go look at or like follow the moonlight or something.
He said
like
something
that.
about follow the moonlight, but then it literally like it changes and he's there
It's a
and
big
he's
jump.
like looking at the sword.
Yeah.
And then later in the movie, we get like 6 scenes of him and Anya Taylor-Joy hiding behind a hut, being like, "Oh, we'll strike tonight. Yeah, all right, we're gonna do it tonight. Let's do
I
it."
love you.
Does he though? I'm so confused.
I don't know.
about
There's
it.
like it's like every time they meet up, they like each other more. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't, you guys aren't establishing this chemistry.
He's so scarred and lifeless that it's a little strange.
He's a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah,
How
you
much,
know what I mean?
how much chemistry do you really think there is in a Viking relationship?
It's
though?
true. Also,
I don't know. You know,
Probably not much.
But
I
this
bet it
isn't a
wasn't
very
very
typical
romantic.
Viking relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's a.
Well, it's only half Viking.
she's a Slav.
It's not romantic until it's turned up to like 12. You know what I mean? And then
At
oh,
the
it's
you
end.
like,
mean the?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, oh,
Hey, which was
Okay.
kind of a cool scene because the lighting afterwards, where they're just laying there,
Yeah.
was pretty cool. Where it's just like
Yeah.
almost black and white, almost pretty amazing. Yeah.
which again, visually, the movie I think excels.
yeah,
right?
it's incredible. Yeah,
But there's some like kind of weird pacing stuff where I'm
Yes.
like, do I need to hear them talk about nothing again? But I can't get some transition scene of him, you know, some Lord of the Rings-esque crossing the countryside searching for, you know what I mean?
transition scenes.
There
and
was no
stuff.
setup for that shot. It was just boom, here we are.
Although I really did like that Skyrim side quest of getting the sword.
Yeah.
That was pretty. That was
Yeah, but we're just
straight up
missing the part
dungeon.
of him, you know, running into the little guy who's like, "Oh, you're heading towards the Green Chapel? It's right down there." He's like, "You have my thanks." We're missing that scene, which actually, I it felt very Green Knight,
It did.
especially
Because of the fox.
Well, the fox. We also have the title card thing, which is like super popular again right now. We have to break things up in acts.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if this movie necessarily needed it. Like,
Well, I
it's
thought it
just-
was cool to show
I
like
liked.
the
I liked it.
You
the
think so?
runes and it was like the
there
Viking
runes?
language. It was
Oh,
like
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
Nordic runes. It looked like.
Yeah, it was the next part of the Dragon Shout, but it was like
Yeah, exactly. Fuss
Yeah.
wrote up.
But it was like the story was just sequential. None of it really felt like a distinct
An act.
chapter. Whereas a movie like The Green Knight is okay. Now this is like a weird haunted house movie. Oh, and now we're in this weird like sexual game.
Hey, but
and
did you like that mom kiss, man? Did
Well,
you like that Oedipian?
Obviously,
little-
who wasn't there for the mom kiss in this movie?
That part, I loved how the music turned right at that part, and you're just like, ah,
Yeah, it gets super eerie and gross.
she's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I dug.
He didn't even have to break both his arms.
No.
Man, that's
true.
Yeah, when I don't even know the little kid's name, but his little half brother like is like mother, just like stabs him on the back and stuff.
Man, that it's so funny. That really made me think of some way movie where there's a little is it Starsky and Hutch? There's a little Asian kid stabbing one of them in the back. They like go to a
think
Chinese
that is
restaurant. I'm pretty sure it is Starsky and Hutch.
Dude, that movie sucked. I saw that movie on a field trip. We
Yikes.
like walked to the movie theater.
I feel like that movie is way too sexual
Dude,
for
it's
kids.
super sexual. We were there. We were like, why are we watching this? We were also in middle school. So it was like, why are you taking middle schoolers to see
Damn,
Starsky and
giving
Hutch?
little middle school boners to go back to class with? That's weird.
We just had
Nice.
no like reference for
you
that
were in middle
either,
school.
right?
You were gonna have a boner regardless.
that's true.
Yeah.
Could've
The
been-
wind just comes
Yeah.
and hits you the wrong way.
Could have been any movie, literally any movie we would have saw.
Yep. Saving Private
Toy
Ryan.
Story 2. Any of them would have done it.
That's good. I like the violence in this movie a lot.
Yeah. Some nice violence.
I did
nice
think that
gore.
there would be more violence. I was hoping
Yeah.
there would be more violence.
I felt like I was totally satiated. Like I've been hyping this movie up in my mind for like a year or two, and I left the theater just like, yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
everything
Nice.
I wanted.
I
That is
felt good.
everything that I wanted there.
Did you like that slow sword kill through the nose?
Yes.
Yeah. That was
pretty
fun.
sweet.
That was
That's
fun.
pretty sweet. I gotta
It's
say,
just a real slow punch.
oh yeah, that was interesting how he did like that night kill of Thorir's friends. The Fjolnir's kids' friends, like his fancy
Yeah,
friends.
when he turned him into the horse.
Yeah, he
Oh,
like
yeah,
chops him up and turns
yeah.
him into the horse. I'm like, man, that's some detailed work. You
It's
had to
pretty
do
messed
there.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, he was going through like some Jason levels of presentation.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then he like rips the entrails out of that other
That was dope.
guy.
I think it was a guy,
it was
and then
a
he
guy.
put the sorceress in the bag or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Because they were doing a sacrifice.
Oh, of the young girl. Yeah,
Yeah.
the slave girl. Yeah, man, there's some really cool stuff. There's that volcano scene was tight, dude. I mean, with the whole, they literally had the dragon shouts as like the the score.
Yeah, pretty cool scene. But I just okay, yeah, revenge bad. You know what I mean? Like I think they
I
had
liked
an
that.
opportunity to do something different.
I think that was different. Like, hey, don't get consumed by your rage. You have the opportunity to start a family and a whole new lineage. You could leave right now.
Yeah.
But no, I must kill Batman.
But that's the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's Revenge of the Sith. Like that's
Oh, yeah,
that's,
you're right.
Every revenge story
It is
ever.
the hero's journey.
They even literally tell him like you can either have the love of your kin or whatever it is, the hate of vengeance or
the
satisfaction of whatever.
something. Or
You get
other.
to choose love or vengeance. Which one do you want? And at the end of the movie,
vengeance.
he's like, "I'll take both."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he jumps into the ocean and swims back.
You know, just to even like embolden your Star Wars parallel more,
Yeah.
what was he going to have?
Oh, twins, yeah, and a boy and a girl.
One boy, one girl.
And they fought in the lava.
Yeah, dude, it was Mustafa.
Oh, dang. For reals, man.
Still
That's
dumb,
kinda
but
crazy. Yeah, you know, I just I had myself thinking towards the end of the movie about Last of Us 2, which I know Frank hasn't finished.
Nope.
So I won't spoil it for
Dude.
anybody.
Such a great game.
Last of Us 2 was so interesting because like people really hated that movie or hated that game.
It's a movie too.
Yeah, it's essentially a movie.
Some games are movies.
They hated it, you know, for SJW reasons or whatever. I don't know.
Because of Buff Lady.
Because of Buff Lady. Buff Lady can't exist. So
Yeah, I know.
I'm mad.
Some ladies are buff. I saw one today,
Yeah.
and I thought, damn, you're jacked.
Yeah, look at Natalie Portman, dude. She's super jacked
Is
right
she?
now. It's crazy. You guys didn't see that picture from Thor?
No.
Nope.
Did she
Hit
get
that- oh,
jacked
that's
for Thor?
interesting.
Oh my god, wait, is she playing Thor? Is that what a thing is now? Is she turning into Thor?
She's Lady Thor.
Okay, I gotta see this.
Okay, well, we'll save it for that's interesting because I didn't find one.
It's not time yet.
Yeah, not time yet.
Teaser.
Natalie Portman buff, right? That's what I'd look up.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I typed. Sure. Just don't react yet. Don't react yet, Danny. Anyway, what were we saying? Oh yeah. So the ending though of Last of Us 2, I think had a more profound thing to say about revenge. And the whole time I was thinking, I was like, I wonder I wonder if they're gonna pull a Last of Us. I wonder if he's like, what if he dies? You know what I mean? But he doesn't kill his Fjolnir. Or what if Fjolnir decides, you know what? Just kill me.
Yeah.
Or like, there's so many ways you can go through it, but I think the classic, like, we're both dead.
I kind of hated that. Yeah.
We'll try. I don't know. What are we saying?
You know, for a second, I was hoping when he kills his mother and his half brother, and he looks at him in the hallway, and then he like grabs their bodies. I thought he was just gonna be like, "Let's just call it square."
Right.
You know
like,
what I mean?
There's something like kind of poetic about that.
Yeah.
Like, you've destroyed everything.
You've taken
and I
everything
destroyed
from
your
me.
entire life.
Poetry
We've done
aside,
it.
though, they told him from the beginning, like, you can escape your fate. Like, what we have told you, like, this is the way it's going to go down, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, what does he say? That he says you'll drown the killer of your
father in a lake of fire.
Yeah.
Right.
In
In
a
a
lake
river
of
of fire
fire.
or something like that.
something like that. I don't know.
Bjork told
Even
him
to the
that, right?
point where
Bjork
he's like,
tells him that,
you won't be able to use the sword till the time is right. And there's several scenes where
I
he's
love
like,
that.
okay, no, this isn't the time. I'm just going to bonk people with
when
it then."
Fjolnir's like coming around the corner and
Yeah.
he's just like, "Argh!" I
And
love
there's
when
even-
the
there's
no
even-
snub guy.
Yeah, the guy with the no nose gets it for a second. He's like, how do you open this damn thing?
I
Yeah,
love that.
he
And he's
carries
like
it away.
yelling and he's like, "Argh!" He gives up.
Because it only opens at night.
Yeah.
When the time is right. It's interesting.
I wanted to be able to pronounce the name of the sword because it was pretty metal, but I'm trying to look it up. I can't.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of guttural sounds in here, a lot of throat sounds.
Sword name. Go ahead.
Sword name.
The revenge plot wasn't like the profound part for me.
Yeah.
For me, it was definitely like the unveiling of like his father's like true motivations and stuff.
Yeah.
That was the thing that really got me. I was like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting to think about this tonight. I'm all by myself. It was gonna be a long drive home.
I mean, one of the coolest moments for me, obviously, yes, it's very visually stunning and the score is pretty awesome. And this really culminated at the moment where it's like that Valkyrie scene was pretty dope.
Did that Valkyrie have braces?
No, it was just metal like pounded into her teeth. I was looking to see if
So it was more like a
braces.
grill than braces.
Yeah, it was more like a primeval
Oh,
grill.
I thought it was braces for a second too. I felt like I was in what's that the South African band?
Oh, D'Antwoord?
D'Antwoord. It felt like a D'Antwoord music video for a little bit. Like
Yeah,
it
I
kind
could
of looked
see
like that.
But it was just like the pounding drums
Yeah.
at the same time, and she was just like, "Rah!" I was like, all right, this is
yeah.
dope.
I probably would have liked
Ticket.
it more if the aspect ratio was right.
Yeah.
And the sound
Would
mix
blow me off.
is phenomenal. The like
Yeah,
guttural
dude.
screams, the drums banging.
Actually, you know what? They were clipping at some point. Did you notice that? I don't know if that was purposeful.
I think it's just flicks and it's terrible.
Do you think that's
Yeah,
atmosphere,
I didn't
man.
notice.
Did it clip
any
in yours?
Nope.
Because
No.
did you notice?
Not
Yeah,
once.
there was some fry on like
Yeah.
on like when they were screaming like "kill him."
Even
The
the
balance was awful.
the
and
pan
flicks.
was on point. Like they hit a couple of stereo pan effects that kind of run past
Oh,
your
that's
ear, and it like sent chills up my body. It was
I should have just
fantastic.
gone to cinema.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. I'm never going back to flicks. It's ruined the
You'll go
experience.
back.
It's weird because I go to see like Avengers, you know what I mean? And I'm like, nothing profound is being said.
But then you
But
get
I'm
something
fine.
profound then.
Not even though. I'm just enjoyable story about the hero, blah blah blah. Get some quippy dialogue. But for me, I don't know what it is. It's like Robert Eggers. I was expecting something a little more to chew on. I didn't get satiated all the way.
I can concur with that. I can say that although it did meet my expectations, it just barely met them. Like I expected more. I expected it to be a harder hit for his third film.
Maybe that's just a problem with hype personally.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just Flicks Brewhouse. I don't know. I'll watch it again at a better area.
I finished all the way, like real strong.
Yeah. Nice.
I was like breathing heavily afterwards.
Well, there you have it, everyone. You got to let us know what you think of the Northman, where you stand on the.
I can't wait
on the
till
scale.
he has 2 more films and then we can make a ranking.
Oh,
At least 5. That seems like a fair rule.
I think
That
so.
seems fair.
Right?
I think it's a fair rule.
It's yeah.
before we get all the way out of here, The Northman, with its 2-hour and 16-minute runtime, currently has a 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb and an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie just was released yesterday at the time of this recording, but it was made on a budget of an estimated, what was it, 60 million, 30 million? Let me get back here.
Dang, that's big.
$60 million, or whatever that equates to in Norse money. has currently worldwide grossed $3,435,696.
The euro?
Just getting started. Just getting started.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a day in. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's a big budget, but it makes sense. There's a lot of big name people in this movie. I also like that there's now a Robert Eggers cast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know if you guys caught it. The dad from The Witch was also in this movie. The mom from The Witch was also in this movie.
Longface?
Yeah, Longface. Dagmar Cleftjaw from Game of Thrones. And the mom from The Witch was in this movie. She was one of the servant ladies.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy. And I feel like I'm missing Willem Dafoe.
The goat.
Um,
Not Willem Dafoe, but the goat from
the goat.
The Witch.
Oh,
He made an
several
appearance.
appearances.
Black Phillip.
Black Phillip.
Oh, I love Black Phillip.
Blackie P.
I don't know if the kid from The Witch was in this. He might have been.
Who knows? There were a lot of faces.
He didn't make it through that movie. I don't know if you remember.
I be the Wicked Witch.
You know, I couldn't help but thinking too, like that Anya Taylor-Joy is playing like a full-fledged witch in this movie,
Yeah.
and that she was like a baby witch at the end of The Witch.
What a parallel.
I was like, oh, if only the timelines landed. Wouldn't that be funny? Like
Maybe
after
it will.
escaping the pilgrims, she hopped on a boat and ended up.
Well, she is a Vivitch. She could be jumping around through time.
In time.
Carmen
know?
San Diego.
Yeah. Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. So what'd you think about the Northman? Why don't you tell us? But before you do, be sure to check us out on Spotify.
Tell 'em.
Give us a 5-star review. It helps us out a lot. Also on Apple Podcasts. Helps get our name out there. Like, share, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And check out our Instagram at Uninformed Movie Reviews, where we post quality content. That's right. But we're going to kick it on over to something else right now. We're going to kick it to...
First of all, I don't appreciate you stealing my host spotlight. It's time for. And that's what happens when you mess with the timing. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. The segment about news.
Yeah, you know.
The news
Most of the time it's about movies, sometimes not. Buff Natalie Portman. Here we go.
All right, reactions.
Is
for
this
you
our
guys.
OTI? Is this really what we're
This
talking
is
about?
all we have. We need Danny and Frank's.
We were looking for a story and then we
Yeah.
just started recording.
All
So
right,
this
there
is
we
where
go.
we
That's what
ended up.
happens. I was thinking about let's talk about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, but it's still going on and it's getting juicier and juicier.
Gosh, she's so mean, man.
So we gotta wait. Well, I don't know. I mean, it seems like they're both awful.
Yeah.
is really what's being revealed. But I mean, Amber Heard is definitely been caught lying.
I love that. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's this small GIF where it's just it says the lawyer's giving he's just reciting a quote that she said, and he's just the defendant said that she didn't want to hang out with the plaintiff because it was just his old man friends coming over and playing guitar, and that it would just be boring, and that
Oh, wow.
and he just starts laughing. Johnny
That's
just
good.
starts laughing.
It looks like she's carrying around somebody else's arms.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can
right?
see the weight in her arms.
It's crazy to see someone who's for so long so thin and not frail, but
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley. Well, yeah, literally.
Yeah.
There's a word I can't think of the
Her
word.
doppelganger. Fit, athletic,
Lean. You
Lean.
know what I mean? Lean.
tone.
And now she's just ripped.
Yeah, she's ripped. You can see some beef.
Euripides.
She's been having some
Yeah.
whey protein.
See,
You
wait.
can tell. Very cool. So she's gonna take the helm, literally.
From the hymns. Yeah.
Wow.
Helm.
So
Good
is
work.
I'm guessing this is a multiverse thing, because this is gonna take place after the multiverse of madness.
this is
isn't it?
interesting because now the multiverse is it's being blown completely open. You have it.
Yeah.
You have the Spider-Mans. You
Yeah.
know, No Way Homes. The Loki show was heavily multiverse. if you
Oh, I didn't
guys-
know that.
Yeah, it's it
Oh,
has to
and
do
this
with
is obviously where I'm
timelines.
just stepping back from the conversation. I have
Yeah.
nothing to add here.
There's a lot going on.
And did you watch that WandaVision thing too?
Yeah, WandaVision kind of teased. I mean, What If? Definitely. There was an episode that was heavily multiverse. But then, now with Multiverse of Madness, it seems like they're just going to go hard on multiverse for a while.
I mean, I'm gonna say After that longer trailer that I've never seen for Multiverse of Madness that we just saw,
Oh yeah,
that was dope, dude.
that
It is
trailer
going to
was
be
really good.
awesome. There's a lot going on in there.
that was the only good trailer.
Yeah.
during the movie.
If anything, just for the visuals alone, I'm going to like that
Yeah.
movie. I can tell.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Of course,
Sam Raimi's kind of hit or miss.
I'm complaining about the Northman over here, but talking about. I don't know. I love Sam Raimi though. I love the man.
I'm worried.
He's a madman.
He is weird.
I could not care less.
About Sam
Really?
Raimi?
About Sam Raimi.
Oh no, about the multiverse.
Of madness.
Screw the multiverse.
Screw the multiverse.
You know what? I do like Doctor Strange
This
though.
will be interesting.
Dude, yeah, the Doctor Strange movie is cool. And
And it's Sam Raimi's first movie since Drag Me to Hell. That's what I'm most excited about.
Drag Me to Hell's fantastic.
you know, that one really
I
had to
can't wait
grow on me. I
I
didn't like it at first.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that for sure.
From the moment the little boy was screaming, "Are you the man?" I was like, yeah, yeah.
I feel like that's one that if you're not already 100% on board the Sam Raimi train, it's gonna be like culture shock, maybe. Which is funny. Like I was just at the symphony right before we recorded this.
What could shock people about like a dead gypsy lady puking into somebody's
into a
mouth?
mouth?
with
Yeah.
the tongue? Ugh.
Yeah,
That is literally the scene that always comes to mind when I think about this
bro. I
movie, dude.
love it so much.
I was at the symphony right before this, and I was with these two older ladies. One's like 70, and the other one's like 85. We're driving back, and they're talking about musicals in the backseat of the car, and they're both talking about how Book of Mormon was like the most vile thing they'd ever seen.
Oh wow!
Who watches
Boy, I
this
could
show?
show you something.
I would have left if I could have gotten up, but I was sitting in the middle of the whole, and I was like, "That's weird," because I love Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But I mean, like,
It was one of the best experiences of my life.
when you grow up on South Park,
You know
it
what
feels right at home. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It sounds like they did their job.
Yeah. It's like the same thing with Drag Me to Hell, but I don't know. I bet Multiverse of Madness can't be too disgusting because it's Disney.
Disney regulated it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how much they're going to kind of let them get away with.
I mean, I'm excited. It's
Yeah.
definitely going to be a cool release.
But back to Natalie Portman, though. I guess this is how they're going to make her Thor, right?
Like, is she
Maybe
just
so.
gonna stay buff now? She's just gonna be ripped all the time.
I think it's going to be just one movie. It's going to be
Okay.
a movie where like Thor goes through the multiverse thingy, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm where's Jane? No, I'm Thor." And
it
then
does like a Freaky Friday thing,
yeah,
or would it be the hot chick? Are we doing the hot chick?
yes.
If I wasn't mistaken, I'm pretty sure in the Multiverse of Madness trailer, I saw like Doctor Strange being held like accountable in like Valhalla. It looked like the Thor setting.
yeah,
and
or
stuff,
some
so.
sort of like the point at where all the multiverses meet, some
Yeah.
nonsense like that.
Something like that.
Yeah,
It'll be fun.
yeah. Should be fun.
I actually have a renewed faith in the MCU. The movies have been great lately. I liked Eternals, and loved Shang-Chi. Did you watch Shang-Chi?
I liked Shang-Chi. Still haven't seen Eternals. I don't know if I'm gonna get around to it.
You might not like it, but I liked it.
Maybe I'll get to it one day. I don't know. Hopefully.
Also, love Turning Red. Great MCU movie.
Yeah, Turning Red. Excellent Death Note spinoff.
God, I love that movie. It's so good.
We're getting really far.
Unironically. Anyways,
from where Frank
I got
is at,
nothing.
where Frank's had anything to say.
I got nothing there.
Frank, I guess we'll give you permission to join the conversation again.
So that's gonna wrap it up for Oh That's Interesting. Yeah, you know. So it happens when you don't have everything fully fleshed out before we start recording, but it is what it is, and what it is now is character limit. Extend. The segment where we talk a little bit more about the movie we talked a little bit about a week ago, which in this timeline is Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
Yeah, Cabin in the Woods. We've been like recording ahead of schedule and then like
Yeah.
pumping stuff out. Who had the Hemingway?
I did.
Okay, what did you think
Right.
of Cabin in the Woods?
Trying to think about what. So rewatching Cabin in the Woods, I just felt like, man, this movie has something to say. No, I'm joking. No, just like it feels so fresh. I mean, it's
Even still, 10 years later.
it's got a direction that it's very sure of, and it heads that direction the whole movie, and it's like it never stops. And just when you think you know what's going to happen, they're like, hang on. Unlike the Northman, when you figure out twist, I guess. 10 minutes in. But anyway,
David, not many people are that smart.
look, it's no Final Fantasy Spirits Within, but it's a great movie.
Who's the Cabin in the Woods?
I don't even know what I'm talking about now. No, yeah, I mean, I love Cabin in the Woods, man. It's great. How could you not love it?
It's a movie that grabs you, holds you through the entire thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say anything negative about Cabin in the Woods. But if you're listening right now and you have complaints, please let us know. I'd be dying to know what problem you could possibly have with this movie.
It's got the blood.
Let me
it's got
know
the guts.
why you're dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got humor. It's got guts. It's got killing.
It's got Sigourney Weaver.
It's got a bitchin' motorcycle jump.
Dude.
Yeah.
Much like take place in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the subversion. And that is a movie that does subversion well, but not just for subversion's sake.
That was a lot of subversion there, Danny.
Thank you.
I think I had the chirp.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And I don't even remember what I said in my chirp at this point.
It was something like, I'm real dumb, like movie, good.
Yeah, it was probably
I think
words.
that's what it was.
All the words are probably about 5 letters long or so.
Yeah, there wasn't a single 2-syllable word,
No
which is actually
punctuation.
impressive.
Yeah,
that
really, you cut the punctuation out of
Yeah.
out of a chirp, you can get a lot more in.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Why do a lot work?
Why do lot work when small work do good thing?
There it is.
And that's my extended. No. But seriously, it's one of the all-time greatest films ever, maybe, especially in the horror realm. It's such a beautiful little standalone on its own. Danny mentioned perfectly. It's like it follows in the lineage of Scream. It's like the next thing in that progression, but so much so that I feel like it really just stands on its own because it's not tongue-in-cheek about it at all. It is just like, hey, what if the reason these things happen is because there is an evil corporation, or not even they're not even evil, you know what I mean?
They've just been
with
with a god.
assumedly they've been doing this since the dawn of time,
Utilitarian,
or at least until they got the Titans to stop destroying everything.
Yeah,
which is cool.
And what an ending! It's just
dude.
we didn't make it.
Yeah.
God, it's so good. Yeah.
Although I will say this time around, and maybe I've noticed this in the past, but man, are they very loose about the sacrifice rule, where it's like it has to be a sacrifice of their or there's a bunch of talk about like it has to be their choice.
The god's choice.
Well, no. Like they're clear that like when they bring in these kids for the ritual, that they can't force the kids into it. They have to choose in order for the ritual to work.
They have to choose what spooky
but you're forcing the
monster it's gonna be.
situation.
Yeah, they're controlling it to a point where I'm kind of like, is this like in a court of law? Would this count? I don't know. Pumping the pheromones, you know what I mean? And like,
they're like nudging them along the way, I guess.
Yeah.
Is this what's the word you're looking for? Like when you
kosher. Kosher's the word.
It's kosher, but okay. There was a show called Bait Car. Do you remember that show?
Yes. I don't remember Bait Car.
Okay. Entrapment.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's why they got stopped.
If these guys were cops, this wouldn't fly. They wouldn't be able to do this operation. They'd be like, no, man, you can't do that.
Well, it depends. The judge and the district attorney are probably like in cahoots with this whole
Depends
thing.
what state and on top of that, what country.
Yeah. But even state to state, America's weird.
Yeah.
America's a weird place.
There might be a couple states that are like, nah, you can't do that.
Know your local and state laws about fulfilling sacrifices.
Consent is important too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is also in line with this thing I'm talking about. I'm questioning the true, when they say they need to be consenting about this, I'm like, are they though?
Yeah, it's like when you have 2 endangered animals, let's go with Tasmanian tiger. They're so endangered they don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But if you had them in a zoo and you're trying to get them to breed,
you would like extinct.
So you wouldn't forcibly like grab one Tasmanian devil, put it on top of another one, and apply the thrust. But you would put some sexy Tasmanian devil music on, you know what I mean?
Maybe some oysters or
lighting
something.
down, feed them whatever the Tasmanian devil equivalent to oysters. I'm pretty sure they eat anything. But
prehistoric oysters.
whatever gets them all horned up, you know what I mean?
Looney Tunes on the TV.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. You know what I mean?
Fast.
I like it.
Yeah. See, you set it up, but you don't. Apply
You're talking
the
about
rest.
staging.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Yeah. Who knows?
I got really
Fluffing.
into.
You're saying fluffing.
Yeah. You could even give them a little fluff. You know what I mean? But as long as you don't, you're not applying the thrust.
Peeps and
essentially
predicts
how it
time.
Let us tell you about
Our
it.
final segment.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the time of night that we're recording
It
or
might
this
be.
new setting, but the vibe's a little different.
Yeah, things are a little wild here.
But it is definitely time for Peeps and Predicts. Everybody's favorite, very real hypothetical debate segment
Yes.
There you
on
go.
this podcast,
I love that.
Nice.
where we take one set of peeps
Oh man.
or peoples, and we pit them in certain predicts or predicaments, and we see who comes out on top, and
you're
see
filling
who
my
will
shoes.
face our reigning champion, who is currently Quentin, the foot fetishist.
Is it still?
Tarantino?
Yeah.
Darn. Okay.
QT.
And he's been on top before, right?
Yeah. I think, we've just assumed, but yes. I don't think anyone.
Yeah, we haven't gone back and checked it, but we've talked about. We're pretty sure.
I'm almost positive.
It might just be reinforcing it at this point.
Yeah.
Us saying like, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Our two peeps starting today would be the Green Knight versus the Green Lantern.
Oh, interesting. I was really hoping it was going to be the guy from the Northman. It feels right.
All right, let's see our predict. Folded in a weird manner.
What is it? I'm dying with anticipation.
Who would be a better Secret Santa organizer?
Huh?
Definitely not. What's his name? Green Knight. He's not a very thoughtful kind of guy. you
Yeah,
know
he
what I'm
really
saying?
isn't. He's very self-centered.
What's his name?
Gawain or Gawain?
Gawain.
No, I thought the Green Knight was the Green Knight.
Oh, good
we're
point,
talking
good
about the
point.
Green Knight. He is very thoughtful. In fact, he thinks
Yeah,
ahead.
he remembered a
he-
whole year ahead of time.
He sticks to his word. He says how
And
it's going to be.
He's a Christmas
And
guy.
that's
I
how
was
it
just
goes.
going to say, and it happens on Christmas. What has Hal Jordan got? Nothing.
A bad movie.
Yeah. He flies planes.
Well, which Green Lantern are we talking about?
We
You
could be
know,
talking about Kyle, whatever the heck his name
John
is.
Stewart,
Kyle Gardner.
which always cracks
John
me up.
Stewart.
His name is John Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With an O-N.
O-N.
Jon.
J-O-N.
Oh, no H.
No H.
No.
If you're a John and you have no H in your name, you.
Whoa. That's the only black Green Lantern, okay, Frank? That felt very racist.
You know that I know nothing about these characters.
So the Green Knight, obviously.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Passes
that's
on.
the obvious
Also,
choice.
I hate Green Lantern. Who cares? You know what I mean? He's got a stupid ring.
And I know
I
this
like the
isn't the
Green
predict they're
Lantern.
facing off in, but Quentin Tarantino would be a horrible
Yeah.
Secret Santa
Yeah,
organizer.
he really would.
Our next predict.
Like how we threw in 4 people on that one. Like Gawain, the Green Knight, Quentin Tarantino.
It's a rumble.
Yeah.
Destroy all monsters. Who's most likely to secretly have an Who's most likely to secretly have an Art Garfunkel mastery level of harmony?
Ooh. Dang, y'all. I'm going to go Green Knight
Yeah.
twice.
I would say the Green Knight spends most of his time in solitude.
And he probably sings
Yeah, but-
minstrels though. And like, you know, he probably sings like
Ooh.
just polyphonous, like just 2-voice harmony all the time.
I do see what Frank's saying.
And
though, if
isn't
it's
the
only
whole
one
thing with the
guy.
Green Knight, he uses that ring to like manifest something that's perfect for the situation?
Oh, for him to speak? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. No,
like the Green Lantern?
like
Oh, you're
yes,
talking about Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Yeah, you said Green Knight.
Green Lantern. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. The Green Lantern. He like pulls things out of his ring, right? He's
It's
like,
from
I need a.
it's from
I
his
need a,
willpower. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty gay.
Wow.
But he's like, oh, I need a train, and then he makes a train, right?
And
so
we just
he's
got
really
canceled.
he's really good. Do it. He's really good at having the right thing for the situation.
Yeah.
I feel like hitting the perfect harmony is the exact same thing. You know, what I mean?
Can you make
Can
it
the
harmony?
can the
I don't know
do
if I've
that?
ever seen him manifest something that was living enough to like speak.
It's always an inanimate object.
Yeah, like a
No, I'm
a
just saying,
turret
like, he
or-
knows in his head, he's like, oh, I know what would suit the situation perfectly.
Now,
So he's like,
you
oh,
could-
this is the chord progression that we're in. I know which harmonic line would be perfect for this.
I could
Okay.
see your argument if you're saying he makes like a sousaphone or something that he could play to have the level of harmony that he's looking for.
No, I'm not even saying he would like make something out of the ring. I'm just saying his.
He just has a natural skill to find
Oh.
the right
Yeah.
tool for
I'm
the
looking
job.
at this like a headhunter. You
Okay.
know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, you have organizational skills. I know it'll play over here. I
Interesting.
think he would, by the same token, I think he would make a great sommelier.
I gotta go. I'm gonna say I'm siding with Green Lantern on this one, but my biggest reason is because he's part of the Justice League and part of the Green Lanterns. He's part of two large teams that sometimes they gotta be singing harmony.
Where the Green Knight, he's off doing his own thing all the time.
Yeah,
And he probably doesn't talk much. Yeah, you're right. Probably
he's like
doesn't sing
asleep
much.
most of the time until he wakes up and chops someone's head off, or does he?
Or
I don't
does he?
know. See, it's nice when you have just somewhat of an ambiguous ending.
Ambiguous
Just a little
ending.
bit.
Definitely semen though.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That wasn't ambiguous at all.
Yeah,
No.
When it counts, they're ready to show it all.
Yes.
So we're going to a 2 out of 3.
2 out of
with
3.
our primary peeps, which has not happened in a minute.
It's
been a bit.
Yeah.
Been a little bit.
Who's more likely to sell their soul to the devil for guitar playing skills? Not the Green Knight.
I have it on authority that tree man has sold his soul to the devil. I mean, I don't think it's Green Lantern.
It would have to be the Green Lantern. I feel like the Green Knight.
Maybe that's how he's a tree. He sold
He
his soul
sold his soul to play some
to
sweet
play
notes.
lute. For sick lute skills.
But he was only alive one day to play it.
When was the guitar invented?
Actually, great point. The guitar's not even around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the guitar
During the
wasn't even
medieval
around.
times is a lute. We got to go Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Green Lantern versus Quentin Tarantino.
hopefully people buy that one. Buy the reasoning there. No, that's very.
I mean,
scientific.
that's sound logic.
Yeah, that's the most.
You can't argue that.
Accurate
It's a
argument. we have.
chronological argument.
Yeah.
You can't, All right.
12.
Good answer. Who is more likely to actually hate the Warriors?
Oh, dude, the Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that Tarantino hates the Warriors.
No, he
Tarantino loves the Warriors
yeah.
because he
Loves
has
the Warriors.
great taste and he's not a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Tarantino's like, I love film.
You could definitely. He might have the same taste of movies that he does for his articles of clothing, though.
Wow.
So I would agree. He might like.
First
the
off, how
Warriors.
dare you?
Fubu is a great company.
Yeah. First off, his fits are insane. Next level.
Kangol is still in.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Green Lantern.
Yeah, it has to be Green Lantern.
Green Lantern would be like, well, I don't like all the criminals in this movie. Huff, 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 huff,
Yeah.
huff.
Oh yeah, he'd be
Yeah.
super upset.
Or he'd
at all
say
the
some-
injustice.
Some really dumb stuff that Danny said in his review.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Did we CLE the Warriors? Now I can't even remember.
Yes,
we did.
Okay, I'm gonna go back
That's
and
how we
watch the
found out
episode.
Danny didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch the episode and get angry about it all over again.
Do it. Do it.
I remember you being particularly condescending, if I'm remembering correctly. You being like, well, I guess, if there's no nostalgia behind your viewing or something like that.
I think that's
Yes.
the way it usually goes, though.
Yeah.
When two of us are like, "Dude, you're gonna love it," and the third person hates it, it's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I have to be as condescending as possible."
I mean,
because these
yeah.
guys lied to me.
Except for dirty work, apparently.
I mean, that's one of the few moments where we've all been on the same page of like, wow, this is
United.
garbage.
No
What was the
hatred.
last one we all hated together? Oh, Ghostbusters.
Oh, Ghostbusters, yeah.
The love guru.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Oh gosh.
I abstained from that one.
Yeah. Oh, nice one. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
That was a smart choice.
Sometimes I make good
You
decisions.
dodged
Yeah.
the bullet on that one, man.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's a weird echo in
There's a
here.
delay.
We still haven't done any like audio treatment in here. Well,
You have it.
that's an episode.
That is.
Like, share, subscribe. Go watch the Northman. Tell us what you think. The Green Lantern is the new champ. Weird. And,
Yeah, super weird. Okay. Can we just decide right now that it's Jon Stewart?
sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a football player guy.
Jon Stewart.
I have
Green Lantern.
no dog in this fight at all.
I'll send you a video.
Cool.
He's
Nah,
cool. He's
I don't
definitely the coolest one.
Coming up on the channel in a
Let 'em
couple
know,
days, we got Friday the 13th. Jason X. It's actually not called Friday the 13th. It's just called Jason X.
Is it really?
Yeah, but we have a uninformed movie commentary.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is called that. It's one of those. It's a weird licensing thing.
Because that guy kind of sucks, right?
Yeah, because that guy was like, "But I wrote it."
I haven't edited the audio yet, but I'm going to go ahead and assume it's the best thing we've ever done.
Yeah,
So
It
check
is.
it out.
could be fun.
It is. What else we got going after that?
We got a CLE of Studio 666, which honestly, just to be completely upfront, we put on the schedule before the drummer died.
Yeah, this was, yeah.
And now I'm feeling a little strange about it. It's
Why?
going to be weird. It's
Talk
just
about dead
weird.
people.
It's going to be weird to watch a movie that is so new and thinking the whole time this guy's dead.
Yeah.
That's going to be kind of trippy.
Yeah, we just want to clarify that it's not just because Taylor Hawkins
Yes,
died that we put it on the
exactly.
schedule.
It's how I felt watching The Dark Knight, the whole movie being like, Heath Ledger's dead.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm watching this right now. How crazy is this?
Never even crossed my mind.
Weird.
I thought about that.
But anyway, then we have a special Mother's Day episode. We didn't forget it this year.
Hey, we're good boys.
Sons. We are picking our 2 favorite movies about moms for moms.
Big Mother's Day. Big Mother's House Day.
Interesting, Danny. So interesting, the joke you're making in association with your mother.
She's a wonderful woman. Thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing.